dark side of identical twins, where the battle of life and death begins long before birth, in the womb.
I wasn't going to choose which of my children were going to die.
Draining the lifeblood out of each other, literally. Cutting-edge laser surgery, their only hope.
Take a deep breath for us. Hold it.
Plus, they walk alike, they talk alike.
Pieces it. Just gonna say that.
But they'd never met until this late-in-life reunion. Do our genes decide who we are before we're even born? Plus, is it a medical first? A man pregnant. That's what it looked like until doctors found what was really there. Could it be his own twin? Plus, another medical mystery you can solve yourself. We'll give you the patient, the symptoms,
I felt like I'd been stabbed.
and the doctor. You give us the diagnosis. When the doctors are baffled, when the symptoms don't add up, medicine turns to mystery. Tonight, Primetime's Medical Mysteries.
Hello, I'm John Quinones. Welcome once again to our special series, Primetime Medical Mysteries. Tonight, we delve into one of the most mysterious and intimate relationships there is between identical twins. Did you know you could be one without even knowing it? 1 in 8 single births starts out as twins, but never develops. Not like our first story. Imagine if there was a carbon copy of you, a clone, an exact replica, from every cell in your body, right down to your personality. A medical mystery? Well, not to these ladies. Here's Bob Brown with a continuing story of separated at birth.
And now listen to the beat.
They're everything you'd expect in a set of identical twins. They read each other's minds, finish each other's sentences, harmonize unrehearsed to the songs on the radio.
I feed off of Marty. She feeds off of me. There's certain areas I'm weak, she picks up. I call her at 2 in the morning just to hear her voice sometimes. Yep. I get to missing her so bad.
Wait, it's like two puzzle pieces.
I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, baby.
They also act a little crazy sometimes, as if they've traveled off to their own private land of Oz, where they discover in each other heart and brains and courage.
Because.
What makes them unusual is that they haven't known each other all their lives. They are a living laboratory, a study of the influence of genetics over personality, mirrors of each other who grew up in small Midwestern towns a few hours apart. They were born in 1957 to a 17-year-old unwed mother who gave them up for adoption.
That's that face. Where's that face?
In the late 50s, there were few studies available on the importance of the bond between twins. And although today common sense dictates that twins not be split up for adoption, Stephanie and Marty were sent to live with separate families.
And both your parents have said that once you were brought home, you cried a lot. And now you're thinking that it was for a reason.
Now we know why, probably. I mean, I missed her.
Stephanie was adopted by Golden and Stephanie Drew in Granite City, Illinois. Marty's parents, Alvin and Ellen Mays, took her to Crossville, Indiana, about 3.5 hours from Granite City. Neither family knew the daughter they had adopted was a twin.
That looks just like me.
Both girls had their tonsils out at the age of 7. Both did well in their school spelling bees. And both say that as they grew up and went through school, they had feelings they now believe were related to their separation.
Oh my gosh, they've got me at the very top.
And even when they didn't know it, they were acting like twins.
Wow.
On a wall in Marty's old high school is a class photo of her as a high school senior. This was Stephanie's senior class photo. Down to the hairdos, they were all but interchangeable. Both were married in their early 20s, both were divorced in their mid-30s. And as they grew older, both thought about trying to locate their birth parents. But Stephanie, whose adoptive mother had died, held back.
I used to lay in bed and cry because I missed my mom so much. And then I thought, if I find her and she shuts the door in my face, that would crush me. I couldn't handle it.
It was Marty, at the age of 38, who did decide to begin a search. She worked through Catholic Charities, the agency that had arranged her adoption. When a social worker called her back with news, she was totally unprepared for what she heard.
She says, "You better sit down." And she said, "Marty, you have an identical twin."
On September 18th, 1995, inside this restaurant between where the two of them lived, Marty and Stephanie were brought together for the first time since they were 8 weeks old. The meeting was videotaped by a worker for Catholic Charities.
I had to keep touching you. Couldn't believe it.
You got the same nose and eyes. You got better brows. Oh, you got better brows.
But the most amazing moment of that meeting came when it was time to open the gifts that each had purchased for the other.
And right before she opened that present, you remember what you said to me? Open mine first, and I said,
Well, I bet your taste is just as like mine.
and then when I opened that little box, she was hysterical. I could not believe it.
Oh, my God.
It was the same identical present.
I don't believe this. Oh, my God. We picked out the same thing.
The little magnet. Remember what it said? Yep. Sisters from the very start, friends forever from the heart. That did it. That did it. Red, green, red, blue, red,
The twins
green,
went
blue,
together
red,
to
blue,
participate
green,
in a University of Minnesota study on twins, and in doing so, to learn about themselves. Some data on identical twins suggests that even though they were raised apart, Stephanie and Marty are just as much alike as they would have been if they had been raised together. That some personality elements may be in our genes. DNA tests proved they are identical, and about 25% of identical twins are mirror images of each other,
Wax on.
as are Stephanie and Marty. The slight difference in their appearance is due to separate diets and upbringing.
The twin bond is stronger than any human bond on earth. It's stronger than husband and wife. It's stronger than mother and child.
That is the best.
What's the right shape?
It's that strong. All the questions that were unanswered for all those years have been answered. I know who I am now. You know, I know who I am, I know where I come from, and I know that, you know, me and my twin, there's nothing ever gonna separate us again. Nobody, no one.
That's right.
I can bring home the bacon.
Stephanie and Marty have since celebrated the 10th anniversary of that first incredible meeting since they were separated, and to see how their lives have developed, we brought them back together last night.
That's when you took that bag of tapes.
Both have remarried, both work for doctors. Stephanie lives in Evansville, Illinois, Marty in Evansville, Indiana. And they are still textbook examples of the studies on identical twins who speak on the phone every day.
All I have to do is hear her voice, and I can tell what kind of mood
We can
she's in.
sense each other's mood.
Yeah.
And there are times when I call her and she is down in the dumps, you know, just really had a bad day. And I can bet my life by the time I hang up the phone, she is on the floor rolling just about. I can always make her laugh, and vice versa.
I can make you laugh.
Well, imagine that.
And even those coincidences that seem to be completely absurd are still happening, like the streets where they live.
I live on the corner of Spring, and I live on Spring Corner. And this wasn't planned, it just kind of like fate happens, you know, and it's meant to be.
Meant to be.
And remember those first identical gifts they got for each other before they had even met. Well, these are the gifts they bought for each other last Christmas.
Two alike. It's called Two Alike, and it just goes to show you the longer we know each other, the bond gets stronger.
She's part of me, and she was out there. I just didn't know it yet, you know, but she was always there. She was forever. You know, it's eternal.
That it's all right. Whoa, it's all right.
Now, we promised you a chance to be the doctor and diagnose a real-life medical mystery. During tonight's show, we're going to present a case, a real patient, and the doctor who treated her, and we'll describe symptoms just as they actually occurred. And you can vote online at abcnews.com, telling us what you think the real diagnosis will be. Here's the case. A 25-year-old newlywed in New York City just got back from her honeymoon.
I woke up in the middle of the night with a very sharp pain in the left side of my chest. I could really only describe it as feeling like what I think a heart attack must feel like. I felt like I'd been stabbed. My doctor was obviously very concerned, but he reassured me that healthy Caucasian young women don't get heart attacks. He thought it could be acid reflux or possibly stress, just coming off of the wedding. But he sent me to get an EKG and an X-ray just to be sure. I had the X-ray done the next day, and the technician could clearly see something. My doctor told me he was stunned, but they had seen something on the left side of my lung, and I had to get a CAT scan as soon as possible. Fortunately, my godmother is a thoracic pathologist. She's a cancer doctor who specializes in the lung region. So I called her immediately.
She came over to my apartment and she said, I had to go for a CT scan and my chest hurts and I'm panicked and I don't know what's going on. And I said, okay, take it easy, calm down, let me see the film. And she handed me the X-ray and I sort of gasped and said, this is not normal, there's something on here.
We'll give you more clues as the show goes on. But now, it's time for you to be the doctor. Go to abcnews.com right now, click on Medical Mysteries, and give us your diagnosis. We'll tell you the right one at the end of the show. Do you think the patient is suffering from A, parasite, B, cancer, C, pneumonia, or D, allergic reaction?
Next, a fight to the finish that pits twin against twin before they've even been born, when Primetime Medical Mysteries returns.
The all-new Mazda CX-7 has got the press making a lot of noise. And it all started with a whisper. The turbocharged, direct-injected 2007 Mazda CX-7 Sport starts at $24,310. Or get a special introductory $299 a month lease for 24 months with $29.74 to a lease signing. The SUV you never saw coming has arrived.
The savings are simple at Kohl's half-price sale. Because Friday and Saturday only, you can take 50% off hundreds of items store-wide. Like all juniors, young men's, and kids' So, Sonoma, and Urban Pipeline apparel. Save 50% on graphic tees, all kids' schoolwear and character backpacks, and great Mrs. Fashions. Sheet sets and all frames are 50% off, too. Plus, all solid color bath towels are 50 to 60% off, and all luggage is 50 to 65% off. This Friday and Saturday only, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Kohl's half-price sale. Kohl's, expect great things.
I'm Orville Redenbacher from Valparaiso, Indiana. Can you tell which popcorn is my famous gourmet popping corn? Mine pops so much bigger, it's blowing the top right off of the popper. Mine eats better, too. Try my gourmet popping corn. You'll taste the difference, or my name isn't Orville Redenbacher.
Susan!
Oh, hey.
I called you like a dozen times. What happened?
It's myself. Service is unreliable.
Well, you better switch. Then we can reconnect.
Sure. Hey, thanks for hiding.
No problem.
Your wireless network makes all the difference.
You never would have believed me.
So switch to America's most reliable and get a fully loaded VCast music and navigation phone. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Red Lobster's bringing you something new. Seafood dishes inspired from around the country, like sweet Maui Luau shrimp and salmon, southern honey barbecue shrimp and chicken, and our New England lobster and shrimp. And soon, only at Red Lobster.
Who ruins your day?
It's me, the Lord of Mishap!
Level 5. Game over.
Farmers Help Point, putting things right the moment they go wrong. Farmers, get you back where you belong.
When allergies hit, mucus crowds into your sinuses.
The more, the miserable.
Mucinex D breaks up mucus that causes congestion and sinus pressure.
There she blows!
Mucinex D. Mucinex in. Mucus out.
Are you a scraper? Are you a digger? It's so hard to get the mayo out.
New Best Foods Easy Out, the non-stick, no-waste bottle designed to get every last bit of mayo out.
You can bring out all the best.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Notre Dame versus Georgia Tech, September 2nd, 8 p.m.
65 days ago, they fell from the sky. First came survival, then confrontation. This fall, their only hope is each other.
Who are you people? We're the good guys.
Lost. The brand new season premieres Wednesday, October 4th at 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Medical Mysteries continues with John Quinones.
Now, you've seen how closely bonded identical twins can be, how almost giddy with togetherness they can act. But sometimes there's a much darker side to being someone's double, and it begins long before birth, a battle to the death, literally, that starts in the womb. The journey from conception to birth may be the most dangerous journey that any of us will ever make, especially if you're a twin. Just look at this ultrasound. One twin punching the other. But when we think of identical twins, we think of harmony. They're completely alike, an exclusive society of two, close in a way we can only envy. Well, think again. Some identical twins, all unwitting, are the agents of each other's deaths. This is Brittany Smith, just 20 years old, married to her high school sweetheart, Chris. It's been quite a year. Hurricane Katrina took their Mississippi home, and then Brittany found out she was pregnant with identical twins. They already have a 2-year-old son.
Well, I was excited, but scared, having twin babies.
I was excited and happy I was going to have 3 babies.
But quickly, it became obvious that something was going wrong, badly wrong.
I was bleeding for a couple months, and I was going to the doctor like once a week, and he was checking me every week, and, he didn't understand, what was going on.
Dr. Anthony Johnson at the University of North Carolina Children's Hospital has dealt with thousands of pregnancies. He's one of only a handful of experts in twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, or TTTS. It's a deadly condition that affects only fetuses who are identical twins. They come from the same fertilized egg. They share only one placenta that connects them to the mother's blood supply, and they fight each other to get enough blood to survive.
We will look at a situation where somewhere between 60 to 70% of the time, both babies die, and it can be either one. So that ultimately, when you do the math, there's less than a 10% chance of 2 healthy babies once you get into this cascade.
A less than 10% chance.
Everything at one time was just, getting thrown at us, and, we didn't know what to think.
I just hope that the one I worry about most is with the little one giving all his blood to the big one. Is it, giving all his blood away, or the big one having a heart attack for having too much blood,
During the next few days, Brittany's belly is ultrasounded again and again, and the TTTS is getting worse. Chris's mother, Frenda, fears she'll never see these grandchildren.
It's horrible. I was helpless. I just wanted to fix it, and I couldn't. There was nothing I could do.
What can they do? At this point, the only hope of saving both twins' lives is a laser surgery treatment to get them to share the blood flow equally. But it has to happen now, and it has to happen in the womb. Dr. Johnson wants to schedule it as soon as tomorrow.
And they called back about 15 minutes ago and told us that they were going to go ahead and do the surgery in the morning. And they want us back over at the hospital before 2.
I want to come out with 2 babies. And that's the safest one to, you know, to come out with 2 babies.
Well, there's still that chance that we might only get one.
But you know, we want to try. What you crying for?
When we return, laser surgery to try to give Brittany and Chris's twins their only chance to survive together.
Hi, here's your pizza. This is Fudge'ems. He's helping us with our newest promotion. Warm brownies with fudge dipping sauce. They're free.
Free warm brownies? Oh, you're too good to be true. Oh.
I love you, Fudge'ems.
Oh. Oh, Fudge'ems.
Get 10 warm oven baked brownie squares free when you buy any large pizza at menu price.
What tobacco issues are important to you?
Well, we don't want our kids to smoke.
At philipmorrisusa.com, parents can find information, resources, and advice from experts to help them start the conversation with their kids about not smoking, as well as tips on handling peer pressure.
Something that could help us keep the kids from smoking? That's worth a look.
Find out more. Visit philipmorrisusa.com.
Heat. Enemy of engines. Enemy of heat? Pennzoil Platinum. It's the full synthetic with adaptive molecules that continually separate and reform to help conquer the scorching heat inside your engine. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
This is the college habitat. Laundrius rookius. Hyperus organizationis. Electronicae addicti. Creaturus comfortus. Bargainus hunterus. Thanks for visiting the habitat.
Hey, spending limit? Who cares?
Not us, cause them ain't no credit codes.
Sure ain't.
Them motorcycles was expensive and fast.
And loud.
Oh yeah, them bikes be like wah.
No, like.
They went like wah. Sound good cause they free. Shoot. Yeah, shoot.
City Identity Theft Solutions. Talk to a real person to help get your life back. Free when you get a Citi credit card or Citibank account.
There's no way to hide it. If you drive drunk, we will find you. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement and cracking down like never before.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight? Sir, have you been drinking this evening? Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
Make no mistake, you will get caught and you will be arrested. Over the limit, under arrest.
Tuesday, September 12th, the Dancing with the Stars season premiere on ABC.
You know, you don't have to come in here to do this.
I prefer eyes that look back at me.
The nightmare began 52 hours ago when 2 guns...
You want to talk about what happened in there?
A lot of things happened in there.
Oh, went through the chest.
What happened to her in there?
I'm really sorry I couldn't do more.
You're safe now. What does that mean?
The 9 premieres Wednesday, October 4th, after the season premiere of Lost, only on ABC.
Primetime continues with Medical Mysteries. Here's John Quinones.
Brittany Smith, accompanied by her husband Chris and his mother Frenda, is on her way to the hospital for emergency laser surgery on her unborn identical twins. Without it, both may die from twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, TTTS.
Can I say a prayer? Did you say a prayer?
I've been praying the whole time.
Dr. Anthony Johnson will perform the laser surgery on fetuses so tiny they could fit in the palm of your hand. Just months ago, he performed the same operation on Jennifer Terry, Right from the start of her pregnancy, she felt something was wrong.
I had horrible pains in my upper right quadrant of my stomach.
What had the doctor said?
He said it could potentially be heartburn. He really wasn't worried about it until I insisted on having an ultrasound.
That ultrasound revealed TTTS, so they came to Dr. Johnson. Their choice? Try the laser surgery to save both twins, or consider aborting one of the fetuses in order to keep the other one alive. For Jennifer and Tony, this was out of the question.
In my stomach, and I wasn't going to choose which of my children were going to die.
Why not?
Lots of reasons. One, I mean, they were both my children. How could I pick which one I wanted to have? And what if you pick the wrong one? And two, you know, we're Jehovah's Witnesses, and we would never, that's just not an option. So, period.
But the bigger twin was struggling. It's hard trying to push blood for both fetuses. The smaller twin was starving.
You know, we ended up in the hospital, and the very next morning I was having the laser surgery, and basically the doctors go in with a laser and a scope, and they try to find the arteries and veins that the babies share and to cauterize them with the laser so that there's not such a sharing of blood between the twins.
Everyone was hopeful, but the surgery didn't go well.
I came out of surgery, and Tony had just stepped out, and Dr. Johnson came in. It was just me and him. And he did an ultrasound, and he came in on a Sunday, too. I know it's just hard, but, and that's what he told me. He saw the one twin who was receiving most of the blood had died. He just sat, and he let me cry, and he cried with me. And then that was it.
And now, Dr. Johnson has to explain those same risks to Brittany and Chris.
If we feel that Brittany is in trouble, we won't think twice about delivering this pregnancy. We need to understand that, okay? But things could happen.
The couple feels like there's no choice. It's the only way both twins might survive. The operation is performed under local anesthesia. Brittany will be awake. That light is the laser. The point is less than 1/5 of an inch across, and it's inserted through a tube. A screen allows the surgeons to see the tiny blood vessels they're aiming at. They have to line up the laser before firing it and cauterizing the blood vessels closed. One false blast of the laser could injure the babies, tear through the placenta, and cause both babies to bleed to death. Brittany must stay perfectly still when they fire the laser. The red light on the screen shows where they're aiming. Brittany's holding still, but the twins, they keep moving.
Take a deep breath for us. Hold it, hold it.
The surgery is supposed to last about 30 minutes. An hour comes and goes, and then another.
And it was taking so long, and I thought something went wrong, or something happened to the baby, or something happened to her. I really didn't know what to think.
Brittany's identical twins are positioned awkwardly, and every time they fire the laser, a small amount of blood leaks into the womb, clouding the fluid there and making it harder and harder to see. 2.5 hours after the operation began, Dr. Johnson has done all he can.
All right, taking it out. Taking it out. Stop the injection.
Cold and exhausted, Brittany is wheeled into recovery.
Dr. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything goes good. How long will you expect to keep her?
She'll be here for at least 48 hours. Okay, the first 24 is going to be the most...
48 hours.
They're going to watch her for 48 hours, and the first 24 hours is going to be critical.
Brittany sleeps. Chris and his mother don't know if the operation has worked. They must wait and see. When she wakes up, Dr. Johnson breaks the news to Brittany that there were some complications.
So we tried to go across, and when we went across, as long as you're going to cross the chest, it's fine, but when we went across here, across the neck, you push here on these vessels, and the baby didn't like that. And his heart rate went down. And then we stopped, and it came back up. But tomorrow morning is going to be the most critical time for us.
Brittany still does not know if the operation has saved her babies. We'll return to Brittany and Chris in a minute. But now let's go back to the real-life case you're trying to diagnose at home. That of a young bride just back from her Caribbean honeymoon. You've been voting online, your chance to be the doctor. And so far, this is how you're seeing the case. Have you got the right diagnosis? Now let's go back to the hospital to see what the doctors will do next. Remember, the patient's CAT scan has revealed a large mass in her lung.
By the time I got the CAT scan, I was in tremendous discomfort. I was having trouble taking full breaths. I couldn't really do anything that required exerting energy, like walking upstairs, and it was becoming harder to swallow and cough.
I thought that her chest images should be seen by Dr. Michelle Ginsburg, who is an expert in interpreting images from the lungs.
The findings were so evident that you could have seen them from across the room.
It was a rounded lesion, and all I could think of was that she had developed a tumor.
Maureen and her colleague told me that they were going to sort of talk out loud and rule things out.
We immediately ran through our differential diagnosis. Certainly the first thing in a young patient, otherwise healthy, we thought of an infection, possibly from local, just regular pneumonia, or perhaps if she had caught something while traveling to an exotic place.
The doctor suggested it could have been something I contracted on my honeymoon in the Caribbean, some foreign virus, perhaps.
She had chest pain and a cough as well, but really no fever. She had no night sweat. She did not sound like this was somebody who was sick with pneumonia. Maybe it was something inflammatory, including allergens in the environment. Was she exposed to any new pets over the counter, or obviously illicit drugs? Anything that could trigger some type of allergic reaction. And thirdly would be cancer.
We all know that non-smoking women certainly do develop lung cancer, but I was a little bit more concerned that she might have something like lymphoma or Hodgkin's disease.
They finally concluded that it was probably a type of cancer, which was definitely a little frightening to hear. They decided to schedule me for a full surgery where they would go in through the ribs and remove a large piece of my right lung.
We scheduled her to be seen by a thoracic surgeon. I said to him, if she has cancer, you have to resect it. And he correctly told me, Maureen, if she has cancer, I can't resect it. There's too much, it's not curable.
Once again, it's time for you to be the doctor. Now that you know more, go to abcnews.com, click on Medical Mysteries, and vote again, giving us your current diagnosis. Do you think the patient is suffering from A, a parasite, B, cancer, that's lymphoma, Hodgkin's, or lung cancer, C, pneumonia, or D, an allergic reaction?
Red Lobster's bringing you something new. Seafood dishes inspired from around the country, like sweet Maui Luau shrimp and salmon, southern honey barbecue shrimp and chicken, and our New England lobster and shrimp. And soon, only at Red Lobster.
It's the bedroom sale at Pier 1. Save up to 50% on all bedroom collections. Save on select lamps, mirrors, and more. And right now, make no payments and pay no finance charges until January 2007. Only at Pier 1.
Take, take, take. That's what some cleansers do. Luckily, there's new Olay Hydrate and Cleanse. Its Olay Moisture refortifies your skin. So get a cleanser that actually gives more than it takes.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
Idlewild is a magical experience that will dazzle and thrill audiences from beginning to end.
You're right.
It's the rebirth of cool, Outcast style. Idlewild, rated R. Directed by Brian Barber. Friday.
Part of you wants to learn about menopause. Part of you has no time for research. Visit KnowMenopause.com because part of you wants to understand the hot flashes and moodiness. All of you wants to know more. Check out KnowMenopause.com.
You haven't loved a salad until you've spritzed it. Introducing Wishbone Salad Spritzers. Delicious vinaigrettes you spray. Just the way you like, any way you like.
The season premiere of Grey's Anatomy, Thursday, September 21st at 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Next on Medical Mysteries. For Brittany and Chris, the parents of twins, what will the ultrasound reveal that suddenly changes everything?
This is a bad disease.
Plus, the bizarre story of a man with something mysteriously growing in his belly for 36 years. When Primetime returns. After this, from our ABC stations.
Good evening, I'm Deborah Knapp.
And I'm Steve Dunn, coming up at 11 o'clock. Police are looking for this man. They say he attacked a woman at knife point as she walked down this street. We'll tell you about the phone calls that nearly led to his arrest.
Also tonight, it is the first case of the West Nile virus this far north in Oregon, what authorities are warning you to do.
And those Beaverton kids do it again. The big play that won today's Little League World Series game and who they play next. Join us at 11 o'clock.
Unique style and capability. It all comes together with the 2006 2.4-liter 150 horsepower Chrysler PT Cruiser. It has a distinctive new look and a brand new interior with massive amounts of passenger room and cargo space. PT Cruiser even gets 29 miles per gallon highway and was recently named the Consumer Guide Automotive Best Buy. So separate yourself from the ordinary in the redesigned Chrysler PT Cruiser. It's back. Employee pricing plus 0% financing. Get our employee price on most 2006 Chrysler vehicles.
It's Paulsbo RV's Northwest RV Show at the Clark County Fairgrounds this Wednesday through Sunday only. Save on the Northwest's largest selection of RVs. Get 0% financing or 4.99 financing on any RV. Don't miss the Northwest RV Show, Clark County Fairgrounds.
The all-new Mazda CX-7 has got the press making a lot of noise. And it all started with a whisper. The turbocharged, direct-injected 2007 Mazda CX-7 Sport starts at $24,310. Or get a special introductory $299 a month lease for 24 months with $29.74 to a lease signing. The SUV you never saw coming has arrived.
The West Nile virus turns up in one Oregon county for the first time at 11.
Medical Mysteries continues. Once again, John Quinones.
It's 36 hours since Brittany's laser surgery, and as sometimes happens, the operation did not seal enough of the blood vessels. Worse, Dr. Johnson doesn't think he can make another attempt. The amniotic fluid is now too cloudy.
We do not want to subject Brittany to a procedure if we know it won't work. I mean, almost like protecting the patient against itself. This is a bad disease.
Dr. Johnson now faces the toughest part of his job. He must tell the family that the operation has not worked. Brittany will lose at least one of her babies.
It's a situation where we see one is becoming sicker. Options and treatments at this point in time really are somewhat limited. For twin transfusion delivery at this point in time, that would be a death sentence, quite frankly. That's something we just need to discuss is the possibility that if this is persistent, to try and save one to reduce the pregnancy. I'm not looking for an answer. It may be an option that could at least get you one healthy baby out of this.
I just want you to know that you are working miracles through people. And keep your head up.
I'll see you in the morning. Call me if you need something. I'm here all night, okay? All right.
It's an agonizing dilemma. Wait and risk losing both babies, or abort one to save the other.
I definitely didn't want my son to have to make that decision, or his wife. And he didn't want to. It's not our place to make that call.
Go ahead and get your measurements on the donor.
It's the following morning. Quickly, it's clear that the decision has been taken out of their hands. The screen shows a stillness on one side.
There's no heartbeat in the larger fetus. There is no cardiac activity at all.
No heartbeat in the twin they had already named, Isaac.
Last night, me and Chris and Brittany had a little prayer, and Chris asked God to, if it was meant for Isaac not to be born, to go ahead and take him so he wouldn't have to make that decision.
As devastating as the news is, there is optimism for the surviving twin.
The heart looks good on the survivor, and the blood flow in the cord says we may have a good shot at this.
It's the smaller twin, Ian, with the weaker heart, who's still fighting for his life. For the first time in days, Chris and Frenda see good news. Ian's heartbeat is strong.
I think so.
All right, you're heading home.
They now can go home to Mississippi to wait the 2 months until baby Ian can be born safely.
All right. Be well.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Tell the family I said goodbye.
So much.
Take care of yourself, all right? All right, see you, Freddie. Hey, be well.
The Smiths leave UNC Hospital, and Isaac, the twin that has died, remains inside Brittany, a silent passenger. It may seem strange, even cruel, but since babies with TTTS always share one placenta and one amniotic sac, removing one twin would mean delivering the other. So the mother must carry the dead twin until its surviving sibling is ready to be born. Jennifer Terry has been on the same journey, one twin growing, one silent inside of her.
You never really get to experience the full emotion of grief or the full emotion of joy of having one still alive.
Like Brittany, Jennifer had to carry her living twin named Brody alongside his dead brother, Graham, until she was ready to give birth.
The doctor then says February 14th you're going to deliver.
And he came out wide-eyed and ready to experience the world, and I was afraid something was wrong with him. I kept asking because I couldn't see him, and he was fine.
They named their surviving baby Isaac Brody. They brought home the ashes of Graham, his twin.
You wanted two, you were pregnant with two, and you came home with one.
They were both my babies.
Of course. And there will always be, right? You would spread the ashes on the farm where Brody will play?
Yes. Yep. So in a sense, they can be together like that, too.
Brittany and Chris's surviving twin, Ian, is born just 3 weeks after they leave Dr. Johnson's office. 14 weeks premature. He's only 12 inches long, but because his heart was failing, doctors felt there was no choice but to rush him into the world.
It was sad to see him hooked up to everything and have IVs and cords going through his belly button and him being so small, but I was excited that he was fine.
I seen him moving, so counting his toes and his fingers and everything looked good, so.
It's now a week later, and this is the first time Brittany has been allowed to hold her son. Up until now, he's been too weak and vulnerable to infection.
I know that the Lord has got his will, and I think he's gonna let me have him.
But it wasn't meant to be. Ian was just too weak to survive. Last week, they were called to the hospital in the middle of the night so they could hold him one last time. As for Jennifer and Tony, their surviving twin, Brody, is now 6 months old.
It's my guy.
Somewhere in this little boy, is there an awareness of the brother, identical to him in every way, who was lost? Against all odds, he has lived through one of the most dangerous journeys known to modern medicine. Baby Brody is a medical miracle in his own right, a survivor.
When we come back, a life-saving operation these doctors will never forget. A mystery he carried in his very own body for 36 years. His own twin. Next on Primetime's Medical Mysteries.
Part MP3 player. Part phone. Totally sweet. Everybody Loves Chocolate by LG. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless. This Friday,
Where'd you play your college ball? I didn't play college ball.
Invincible gets 2 thumbs up. Awe-inspiring, arousing achievement. Unique and incredible. If you don't stand up and cheer, you don't have a pulse. Invincible, inspired by a true story. PG, Friday.
When the elements of nature blend, they create green, refreshing, and rich in protective antioxidants. Lipton blends green with mouth-watering citrus for a great taste. It's green tea, redefined. Lipton tea can do that.
If an epidemic was killing hundreds of thousands of Americans, you'd think it would be daily news. What if it were Black Americans dying from AIDS? It's a crisis that's been underplayed, underexposed, and underreported until now. AIDS in Black America, Thursday.
They're planning something, a terrorism beyond comprehension.
We're getting threat warnings from all over the world. I mean, everything's blinking red.
We had him. We're responsible because we didn't act on the information that we had.
I believe my country to be in danger, and no one seems to care.
The Path to 9/11, a television movie event premieres Sunday, September 10th at 8/7 Central, only on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
Hey, Dex.
Hey, Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Whoa, 2 of you. Who do I ask?
Whoever. It doesn't matter.
I need to find a good veterinarian.
Dog or cat?
Iguana.
Okay. All right. The closest veterinarian with a herpetology background, lizard doctor, is Dr. Todd Eisner. Shall we go to his website?
Thanks, Dex. Bzz.
Can we go to the website? What?
Dex the Book and DexOnline.com. The most used, most complete local info. Any way you like it. Dex knows.
It's the GMC Red Letter event. Model year end is here, and so is 0% APR for 60 months on most 06 GMC trucks, like a Sierra 1500 Crew with best-in-class V8 highway fuel economy and more maximum payload than any half-ton Crew. Now, qualified buyers can get 0% APR for 60 months on an 06 Sierra 1500 SL Crew 4-wheel drive, or buy it for just $25,370 after all offers. See your select GMC dealer today.
Pacific Lifestyle Homes introduces resort-style living in the heart of Oregon's wine country. Find your dream home here, featuring relaxing spa-like master suites, grand gourmet kitchens, and open, spacious floor plans. Visit us at morgansvineyard.com today.
The KATU Storm Alert Weather Team, Rhonda Shelby and Rod Hill, with Julia Radlick and Joe English. The KATU Storm Alert Weather Team, keeping your family safe and ahead of the storm. Only on KATU News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Medical Mysteries continues.
Now, a twin story that might seem like the real-life version of the movie Alien. A man with something mysterious growing in his belly for 36 years. As you'll see, it too is a battle that began in his mother's womb. And a cautionary note, some of the footage you're about to see is graphic. In the city of Nagpur, India, Sanju Bhagat is used to feeling self-conscious about his large belly. But on an evening in June 1999, his problems are more than cosmetic. An ambulance rushes the 36-year-old farmer to the hospital. His stomach is so swollen, he looks 9 months pregnant, and he can barely breathe. Doctors think he may have a giant tumor and decide to operate to remove it immediately.
Basically, the size of the tumor was so big that it was pressing on his diaphragm, and that's why he was very breathless.
His surgeon, Dr. Ajay Mehta of Tata Memorial Hospital, Mumbai.
Because of the sheer size of the tumor, it was a bit difficult, and we anticipated a lot of problems.
Right away, it's clear that if it is a tumor, it's not like any Dr. Mehta has encountered before. As he cuts deeper, gallons of fluid spill out of the wound, and then something extraordinary happens.
To my surprise and horror, I could shake hands with somebody inside. It was a bit shocking for me.
He just put his hand inside and he said there are a lot of bones inside. First, one limb came out, and then another limb came out, then some part of genitalia, then some part of head, some limbs, toes, nails, hair.
Inside Sanjay's stomach was a strange, half-formed creature.
Feet and hands were well developed. It had fingers and the nails also. Nails were quite long.
We were horrified, we were confused and amazed.
What they had removed from Sanju's stomach was the mutated body of his own twin brother, one of the world's strangest medical conditions. It's called fetus in fetu.
It occurs 1 in 500,000 deliveries, and less than 90 cases as of today are reported in literature.
Fetus in fetu comes about when very early in a twin pregnancy, one fetus wraps around and envelops the other. The dominant fetus then grows, and the fetus that would have been its twin lives on inside during the pregnancy, feeding off its host like a kind of parasite. Usually, both twins die before birth. But sometimes, as in Sanju's case, the host twin survives and is delivered. What makes his case so unusual is that for 36 years, no one suspected Sanju had a twin inside of him.
Actually, after operation, he was very much relieved because he was in a lot of agony, he was in distress, and he was not interested in knowing what happened, what exactly did doctor take out from his abdomen.
He didn't want to see it because it was looking very ghastly.
Life was very tough indeed, but now I'm much better.
Of course, there was no placenta inside Sanju. The parasite-enveloped twin had connected directly to his blood supply. Right after the surgery, the pain and inability to breathe disappeared. Sanju recovered immediately. To doctors, the case may have been a medical miracle, but to Sanju, his condition had been a source of shame and misery. All his life, people in the village where he lived had mercilessly teased him and told him he looked pregnant. And in a way, they were right.
They still ridicule him. Now they say, yes, you went for an operation and you delivered the baby.
When we come back, the solution to the real-life medical mystery you're solving yourself. This is your last chance to weigh in on the case of the newlywed with chest pain by voting now at abcnews.com.
Next at 11, the search for the man who...
How you did diagnosing tonight's case. This is what you thought our newlywed was suffering from. Did the rest of the armchair doctors see it the same way you did? Now let's find out what she really had as her doctor discovers the surprising thing that caused her condition. Now we go back to the case to see if you were right and would have found a way to cure the newlywed bride. Remember, in this case, the patient woke up in the middle of the night with stabbing chest pains. A CAT scan revealed a mass in her lung, which surgeons have removed, and her godmother, a pathologist, is preparing to examine.
I stood by in what we call the frozen section area of the pathology department. That's the area where the tissue comes from the operating room immediately, where an answer is given back to the surgeon within 10 to 15 minutes. When the piece of tissue came down to us, it had a characteristic appearance that made me think of lymphoma. But as I sliced the tissue, it became obvious that she did not have tumor at all.
My surgeon woke me up from surgery and told me it's not cancer, so we're very relieved, but we don't know what it is. If it wasn't cancer, what was it?
I realized that what she had was eosinophilic pneumonia.
The tumor was made of white blood cells.
It's one of the ways in which the lungs can respond to a drug that, in lay terms, is incompatible with that lung tissue.
My godmother, Maureen, called, and she asked me to think hard about any medicine that I could be on. In the course of planning my wedding, I had a wedding guide that suggested you should see a dermatologist and just get on a skin regimen. So I did. They wrote me a prescription for a very commonly used antibiotic that's given to brides to make sure you don't break out on your big day. I sort of took it without question, and I definitely regret doing that.
I don't think people often think prescription drugs can be dangerous. And this fairly innocent drug had caused a horrific lung response that could eventually have killed her.
My godmother, Maureen, saved my life. I feel incredibly lucky that she made it her mission to get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible. Maureen is absolutely my fairy godmother.
Those of you who voted for option C, pneumonia, were half right. But the root cause was actually option D, an allergic reaction to the antibiotic. After the patient recovered from surgery and stopped taking the drug, her symptoms have not recurred. And on our next Medical Mystery Show, we'll give you another real-life case so you can be the doctor. That's our show for tonight, but next Wednesday from 9 to 11, a special 2020, as we wonder how the world could end. Really?
The world's top scientists separate science fiction from science fact in a countdown to the #1 threat to civilization. What is it? Can it really destroy us? And can we do anything to stop it? Last Days on Earth.
And in 2 weeks, we'll be back with another Medical Mysteries, where you'll meet people with prosopagnosia. They're face blind. They can see everything except your face. Plus a blind man who can see with his tongue. I'm John Quinones. For all of us at Primetime, good night.
Primetime is always on, even when your television isn't. Just go to abcnews.com to get all access to the exclusive interviews, hidden camera investigations. Get deeper inside the story. ABC News is